Good evening everyone and welcome to the fourth round of Division 2 here in Season 12. 1 second. Yeah, okay, go. Good. I was just going to check the audio on the stream, because I ordered the intro and then realized I couldn't be heard. Yeah, welcome to today's stream. As I said, the fourth round of the Season 12 in Division 2. And hopefully another exciting race in store for us today. The Marina Bay Street Circuit, the longest race on the Formula 1 calendar in terms of the time it takes to be completed. And yeah, a very difficult track as well for the drivers. In terms of actually driving it, one of my personal favorites on the game. In terms of spectating, it can be quite hit or miss. Tends to produce some interesting strategical races, but just in terms of the on-track action, I would say there definitely is better tracks out there to watch, but still, I'm confident we can have some good racing tonight. And yeah, I've got a couple of drivers who still want to join during qualifying, Mihai and Asset Masters. I don't see Mihai online yet. Well, he's pinging me to ask an invite, but he's not online yet. Oh wait, let me check on in the PlayStation menu instead of the in-game menu. There we go, there he is. Alright, invite sent. Always the first one starting a lap here now, going down into turn 1. I was still expecting the pole times to be around the low 129 area tonight. The pole in Division 1 was a 28.1 by Kart Racer. So we'll see how that compares to what we're going to see today, if they can get close to that. There we go, Mihai is now in the lobby. We also have a new driver joining us tonight, Edwin. He has joined for this race for the first time, taken the Red Bull seat alongside Marcelio. So hopefully he can have a good debut. Another thing to actually talk about, the results from the Bahrain Grand Prix changed slightly. Pocho was given a 5-second post-race penalty for an incident with BS Gabri. That dropped him down from P3 to P6, and in turn Kevin took the podium. JM moved up to 4th, Gabri to 5th, so they all moved up 1 place from their original finishing position. And therefore, of course, also got those points. There we go, the first lap now completed. Always around the final corner, a 1:30.583, so about 1.5 seconds off from that 29, well, 29.0, well, I did say low 29, not 29.0, but yeah, you know what I mean. We'll see how that compares once the others complete some lap times. I believe JM's about to finish one actually in the Alpine here. Usually quite a fast driver, so definitely a chance that he can take pole position at least for now. And indeed, he does a 1:30.017. Edwin with a 30.159. Okay, that's Shamu starting a lap. I was trying to find who that was crossing the line, I believe. Desi just went into 4th with a 30.816. Pochner with a 31.0 into 5th place. Menaceman coming up to the final corner here. Of course, Division 2 champion in Season 10. A 30.437, JM's 30.0 still. Looking strong. Nobody's been able to beat it yet. Pinky coming out the final corner. And he puts in a 1:30.302. So far still, no one even in the 129, so maybe I put the expectations a bit high on that 29.0. We've got Hernos coming out the final corner now as well, at the Haas of course. Down to 5th for the rotation, and indeed back to 6th on the exit. A 130.811. Kevin about to complete his first lap. Our current championship leader on 44 points, only 3 points out of Foles and 7 out of Sean Moole, so still a very close fight. I mean, we're only 3 rounds in. Well, 4 rounds in, we've completed 3. A 130.230 by Kevin into 3rd place. We have the Williams of Sean Moole coming up to the chicane here. The second to last corner, and then the final corner after this one. Very crucial, this chicane. You can gain a lot of lap time here right in the end. Down to 5th, rotates the car in, back to 6th for the exit. Diaz open a 29.631 onto provisional pole position. And there we go, the first driver into the 129s, and puts a pretty decent gap between him and JM as well. I believe Marcelio now the only one still on a lap actually. I don't see anybody else who would be on a lap. I believe most people are on their way back to the pit lane right now. Marcelio, of course, trying to get himself as far as up as possible, same as anyone else in this quali session. Down to 2nd gear for the chicane. As early as possible on the throttle, and now down towards the final corner. Clips the curb on the apex, and over the line it's a 132.673. Not a great lap for him at all, but I'm certain he will be able to improve in the 2nd and 3rd run. We've got Mihai right behind him starting a lap, but immediately coming out of turn 2, invalidates that run. Goes ever so slightly over the white line, and that is his run. Well, over before it even got started. Owa is back out on track, I believe, for his 2nd run. Just coming through the 1st section here. Turns 1, 2 and 3. So tricky to get that entry into turn 3 just right. And so important as well, because there's a lot of time to be gained in that corner. In general, there's quite a few corners in this track which are so important. Very technical track. So any sort of mistake can use a lot of time. He's up by close to a 10th in the 1st sector. Going all the way over the curb there, just out of the white line, clipping the curb at turn 8. And now maybe again through turn 9. So might be running quite high right height if he's clipping those curbs like that. Normally you try and drive around them. Now down into the old Singapore Sling chicane, of course, no longer a chicane since about, well, over a decade at this point, but still, the corner was so iconic. It is still referred to as a Singapore Sling. Coming out to turn 13 happen, and down towards the sector 2 split time, it's a 105.114, up by 1.5 tenths. So he might be looking to challenge Managed Man, maybe even Sully and Pinky for that 7th, 6th, 5th place area. Unless, of course, he has some more time to gain in the final sector, braking just after the plant limiter board for turn 16 and 17. As early as possible on the power. Runs 3rd gear all the way to the limit, pretty much. And then over the line, a 130.471. Does not improve in position, gets a bit closer to Managed Man. And creates a bigger gap behind to Hanaus. We also have Mihai now once again, I believe now on slightly used tires, as he went round one more time after the invalidation. So he's gonna try again here. 9 minutes to go, we're halfway through qualifying. Takes a lot of curb there going through turn 8. But missed the apex ever so slightly through turn 9, not an ideal line for Mihai. So definitely some time to gain from that section on his 2nd run later on. A lot of curb once again through turn 10. Over the Anderson Bridge and down into the hairpin. Gets the car rotated on the apex really nicely. A bit late in the power though. But we'll see. What does the time say? It's a 105.776 by Mihai. As early as possible on full throttle once again. Avoids the bump on the left-hand side of that track. Has a Haas right ahead of him, hopefully won't get in his way as he goes through the chicane. Has a bit of air there as he practically bounces over the curb, not ideal. But over the line it's a 131.618 into 12th position. Edwin invalidated his run in the 1st sector. Slowly going through the 1st sector as well. Managed Man I think furthest along his lap right now, up by a 10th after the 1st sector. And now going through the old Singapore Sling and onto the Anderson Bridge. Of course, trying to get himself as far to good as possible here. Currently about 8 tenths away from pole, 4 tenths away from P2. How much can he improve by? We'll see in a moment. He's up by 10 thousandths only. A very slight improvement from Mendes Man. Turns in really aggressively into turn 14. Taps the barrier through turn 15. That certainly would have cost him some time. There's some acceleration, some speed all the way down into the chicane. But we'll see. Is he still able to improve? As we go through the final corner. The Alpine driver over the line, a 1:30.216, took a while to register, and jumps into 4th place. We have McLaren coming up to line up and be this. He was up by 2.5 tenths after the middle sector. We'll see if he's gained more time in the final sector. Currently in 10th on a .816, and puts in a .373. Stays in 8th actually, despite the massive time gain, but he's very close to the cars ahead now. But Sully's up by 6 tenths in the middle sector. Sully on one hell of a lap it seems. Could this even be enough to challenge Sean Moore for that P1 position? Yes it is! 29.564 by Sully onto provisional pole position here in Singapore. JM up by 23 thousandths in the middle sector, sorry, so could break the 129 barrier. But he invalidates in the final corner! And doesn't improve because of it. Pinky back into the pit lane. Same for Norris. Mihai as well. Pocho on the mediums, down by 2 seconds in the first sector. Oh, Pocho's best time on the mediums as well. He just completed the lap, I think, on these mediums, and he's not going back to the pit lane. Marcelio going again through turns 1 and 2 here into turn 3. So trying to improve on that 32.61 second off Mihai, so he needs to improve by quite a bit here if he wants to get himself any further up the grid. We have 5.5 minutes to go in the session. Foles and Asset Master still haven't completed the lap. I believe Asset Master's disconnected for a bit. But Foles, I have no idea why he hasn't even left the pit lane, I think. Louis Charmoul also on his second run at the moment. Trying to claim back that provisional pole position from Sully. It's a very close gap. I've 29.564 for Sully, a 29.631 for Sean Moore. Marcelio up by 3 tenths in the first sector. Sean Moore down by 2.5 tenths. We'll see what it is after the middle sector. Marcelio is up by 2 tenths, just over. He's lost a bit from the middle sector. Sean Moore down by 4 tenths. He's lost even more tenths in the middle sector than he did in the first sector. Sean Moore not having a great lap at all here. Is he even gonna bother finishing? Marcelio, meanwhile, is improving, but is it gonna be enough? Does he have more time to find in the final sector? Can he beat Mihai? Can he beat Pocho? He gains just over a tenth in the end, a 32.544, and stays in 13th. Foles now finally out on track with 4.5 minutes to go. Probably his one and only run in this session. He is second in the championship, certainly one of the fastest drivers in this tier. If not the fastest, at least in qualifying trim I would say he's always been really impressive. That has been his main strength so far this season, his qualifying I would say. And in general his pace. Both in qualifying and the race, his pace has been outstanding. So if there's one man who can contend to a position with only one lap, it would be him. He's the only one out on track right now, I believe. No, Kevin and Edwin as well out on track. They've already started laps as well. Kevin, is he gaining in the first sector? Yes, 75 thousandths. So a small time gain for Kevin in the Ferrari. Wants to improve on that 6th position, a 30.230 at the moment for him. Stays off the curbs through turn 8 and 9. Keeps momentum going. Edwin has invalidated again. Once again, Edwin will not be improving. He's already abandoned the lap there, and will maybe try again next lap. But of course, those tires will then be slightly worn. Could affect his lap time somewhat. Kevin can't get the car rotating through turn 13. He has to shift down all the way to first gear on the exit to get the car to actually turn into the corner. He's up by 4.5 tenths anyway, despite that small mistake. So it looks like he's about to break into the 129s. If he can just manage to go through this final sector without any major problems. Only 2 more corners to go. The chicane here. Very nicely taken. And now into the final corner. Where is it going to be for Kevin? How far can he go? fulliness of the throttle, and puts in a 129.801. Third place for Kevin, splitting Sean Moore and JM. Sean Moore out again, Edwin. Taking the corner here to save some time, it seems. Is he gonna go back to the pit lane? Yes! Oh, that could be very close for him then. He only has about 1 minute to spare. Yeah, 2:20. And a lap will take 1:30. Is he gonna get back out on time to start another lap here? Could be very close for him. Meanwhile, Foltz is now on the lap at 26.9 in the first sector. And a 104.9 in the middle sector. That's purple apparently. So apparently it looks like Foltz on a good lap, although the purple works differently in the game than it does in real life. In the case of Foltz, only from Pocho to Asset Master that he's purple. So, no indication. Oh no, it's a crash in the final corner! Just before starting his lap, I believe. As Foltz goes to the final corner, is he going to be able to take pole position here? He isn't! 29.930, only 4th place for Foltz. He would have been hoping for more for sure, but only the one run in the end, which is quite interesting. That he only decided to do one run. Ascent Masters, Desi only on laps as well. Kevin is done, Foltz will be done as well. Is Foltz done? He's still going at a decent pace, but he's not using ERS, so... Desi down by 37,000 in the first sector. So he needs to find some time in the middle and final sector to get himself to gain some positions. The gap is pretty small to his teammate Pinky right ahead of him. McLaren currently in P8 and 9. As Edmund retires from the session. So he will not be improving on that 130.159. Mihai and Asset Masters on laps as well. We'll see Mihai in the first sector up by 1.5 tenths. The next one over the line will be Desi, who's down by 68,000 in the middle sector, so he needs to find time in the final sector if he wants to gain positions here. Is he gonna be able to beat Pinky, Menace Man, Edwin? Those guys are not too far away from him. But does he have time to find in the final sector? We'll see in a moment. Into the final corner for Desi. And puts in a 130.201, jumps into 7th place, beats Menace Man and Pinky, but of course they are on laps themselves. Although Menace Man has a half in of him, who gets out of his way, Sully. Nicely there. Sully actually invalidated his run, so Sully not be improving. Sully is very vulnerable now in terms of the fight for pole position. Foltz came round one more time, but he has almost no ERS left. Is he going to be able to improve on that 29.9? We've got cars approaching Marcelio the line, but he's already finished. Mihai on that 31.6. Is he going to be able to improve? Currently in 13th place. Coming around the final corner, puts in a 131.072, stays in 13th. Next car coming up to the line. Is it an Alpine? Or is it the Williams? It's the Williams of Sean Moore. Is down by 2 tenths in the middle sector. Doesn't look like he can beat Sully's pole position time. That 29.564. And there we go, that's it. Sean Moore with a oversteer moment out of chicane, and he's done. Will not be improving in this session. Foltz up by a tenth actually. We've also got Pinky coming up to the line, currently on a 30.302. Can he improve in the session? Around the final corner, what is he going to put in? A 129.549. Pinky jumps onto pole position, a 7.5 tenths gain for Pinky 11 Swordfish. Menace Man spins on the final corner. Always jumps into 7th. Pocho coming out the final corner. What's he going to go? 29.922 into 5th place. Who else is on the lap? Is it only Foltz? Foltz and JM, I think. Foltz and JM, but Foltz is almost off ERS. Surely this can't be ideal. Is he still going to be able to improve? He does improve, but only marginally. 29.726 into 4th place. And JM over the line puts in a 129.640 into 4th place. And that's that. Qualifying is done, unless Asset Masters, he's still going, but he's not in the hot lap anymore. He already completed this hot lap. And there we go. That is Pinky 11 Swordfish on pole position here in Singapore. Certainly not what I would have expected tonight. And Sully right behind him in 2nd place. 15,000 separating those two. Sean Moore not far behind on a 29.631. JM in 4th. 29.640. Foltz in 5th place. And with almost no ERS on the lap, a 29.726 is pretty impressive. So he certainly want to look out for as well. Not far off pole position anyway. Below 2 tenths the gap between him and Pinky. Kevin in 6th, 29.801. Pocho in 7th, 29.922. Always in 8th, a 130.031. Edwin in 9th, a 130.159. Desi in 10th, a 130.201. Menaceman in 11th, a 130.216. And then finally the first major gap. Up until now it's been pretty close. Who knows, with a 130.811, just under 6/10 back from Menaceman. So a pretty close top 11 there. And even after that, I mean, the gaps aren't astronomical, I would say. We could be in for another good race here in Singapore. Yeah, 6.5 tenths just about separating the top 11, then another 6.5 tenths to who knows. Mihai on a 131.072 in 13th. Arsenio in 14th on a 32.544. And Acid Masters in last place on a 32.900. That has been qualifying the Singapore Grand Prix, and look at that top 4. Within a 10th. Well, Singapore. Especially at a track like this, such a long track, such a technical track, a street circuit as well. Normally the gaps would be pretty large. Like you can expect the gaps to be larger than usual for sure. But right now it looks pretty damn close. So we could be in for a very, very good race, a good fight for the win. Multiple contenders, it seems like. And I'm thoroughly looking forward to these 31 laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. I would expect mostly medium hard, medium strategies. The soft really isn't a viable tire around here. Just simply doesn't last a long enough time. Yeah, normally you do 14 laps on the mediums and 17 on the hards, but there is certainly the possibility of pitting early if you start on hards and you pit early for mediums, like say lap 14 even, to have a big undercut and then just try and hang on to as many places as possible. It's pretty hard to overtake around here, so that could be a good option. Undercut, pretty powerful around Singapore. So we'll see how this plays out, what strategies the drivers go on to, of course. It always depends on safety car timings, maybe weather as well. But there we go, the 5 red lights are on. Pinky on pole, Sully next to him on the right hand side. Who's gonna come out in front into turn 1? Pinky gets away pretty well, but Sully really good as well there, it seems. As we wait for the camera to switch us side by side into turn 1, Sully attacking Pinky, Sully on the inside, but Pinky stays ahead, has a better exit than Sully and stays ahead in the lead. Shormul in 3rd, Folds get up into 4th, Poch up into 5th as well, a good start for him. At the front though, Pinky is definitely not clear of Sully. Pinky actually on the soft compound tires, so trying to run away at the front as early as possible. So, Sully on the back of the exit, under big pressure from Shormul, who goes up the inside there, and now to the outside for turn 7. Is Shormul going to be able to go around the outside of Sully here? No, he isn't, but Fold sees his chance, as Shormul has a bad exit due to the battle. But Shormul sends it back to the inside, Folds tries to hang around the outside, but no chance through there. Shormul back into 3rd place. Pochon now right behind as well, smelling his opportunity. Edwin on the soft tires as well, needs to make up places early on here. Currently in 6th place, trying to find a way past Pocho into the Singapore Sling. But of course not really good overtaking opportunity. Meanwhile, Pinky already 1 second ahead at the front, making very good use of those soft compound tires. Oh, sorry. Edwin all over the back of Pocho here, and the same goes for JM behind Edwin. Pinky driving away at the front, absolutely perfect for him. This is how this has gone. Yeah, okay, mostly mediums, a few soft. Acid Masters, Edwin and Pinky all on the soft tires, and a few hards well, and Always, Desi, Arsenio and Mihai. Yellow flags for Always, who has crashed coming out of turn 14, and the first safety car immediately deployed on lap 1. So what do these people do now? Especially the guys in the softs, do they pit now? Do they stay out? Pinky staying out. Looks like Edwin is going in. He isn't. Both Fortran and Edwin, I think, dumbing the pit stop. Acid Master's going in though. He's down in P13, so for him it makes sense. He doesn't lose too many positions. He will come out in 15th, of course. 14th, of course. This safety car, I would say terrible news for Pinky. He had the gap, and now the gap is gone again. You have to try and build it once again, but it will be tougher than last time, because of course those softs will already have a bit of wear on them. They really don't last, or they really don't keep their pace advantage for all that long around Singapore. So it will be quite interesting to see what strategy Pinky and Edwin go into now. I'm guessing it will be a soft hard, but how long can they make those softs last without losing like crazy amounts of time? Certainly not something I expected to see, soft tires being used in this race at all, really. But certainly not. Let's see what okay, well, the possible race strategy is saying hard, medium. So yeah, even the possible race strategies don't consider soft an option. But clearly it was an option that Pinky, Edwin and Acid Masters thought to be viable. Acid Masters now abandoned that plan and gone onto the hard tires, so he will go long from here. Actually underfueled the car as well, you can see the yellow fuel light on. And he is down by 3 laps? Are you crazy? Am I reading that right yet? That's minus 3.4. Okay. So a pretty significant underfuel for Acid Masters here. Marcelio underfueled as well, but he only did half a lap, so that's more reasonable, I would say. Kevin underfueled as well by about, what, a third of a lap, I think? And, oh, Shaomun underfueled as well. And I can't read that on the Williams dashboard. That's too far away. Codemasters, not Codemasters, Williams. Just use a better wheel already, please. Have the dash on the wheel, please. So yeah, safety car should be in at the end of lap 3. So the question is, how much tire wear will those soft on Pinky and Edwin's cars already have? Of course, going around by the safety car won't be too much tire wear, but it does still take some life out of the tires. Would it be enough for Sully to stay close enough to Pinky to challenge in this first end of the race? And even if it isn't enough to stay in DRS range, the advantage will go in favor of Sully over the course of this race. As of course, Pinky will pit earlier for hards, his softs will drop off earlier than the mediums will. As soon as those softs drop off, Sully will have the advantage for the rest of the race pretty much. With the exception of a few laps where Pinky gets the undercut on him. But still, we'll have to wait and see how this works out. Of course, worth mentioning, Pinky has track position. And as long as you have that in Singapore, you always have a chance, no matter how bad your tires are. It is certainly not easy to overtake someone around here. It's not quite as impossible as Monaco, but it is still quite a big challenge. And Sully also has no, a fair share of challengers wanting to take that second place from him as well from behind, so you can't just focus on Pinky ahead, he also has to keep an eye behind on Shaw, Mool, Foles, Pocho, Edwin, JM, Menaceman, Kevin, and so on. This entire field will be trying to make up as many places as possible on the safety car restart. Should be called in now as we go into the final sector. There we go, and now Pinky can set the pace here. He can decide when this race will be restarted. No overtaking until the start-finish line. No pulling alongside until Pinky has accelerated. They're warming up the tires, getting ready for this race start, creating a gap in the safety car. When does Pinky decide to go? Does he wait until late? Does he go early? What is the play for him here? You would think it would be best to go early, make as much use of those softs in the final corner as possible. But he's pretty close to the safety car, he can't go too early right now, he's left to wait, he's too close. If he goes now, he'll be slowed down by the game. He has to wait a bit longer still. He's gonna have to go very late here. And now, there you go, now he's gone, around the final corner. Using overtake immediately, and he's got a pretty good gap to Sully. He's caught him off guard somewhat. 8/10 there. Meanwhile, Poch on back of Folds. But nobody quite close enough to go for a move in turn 1. All calm for now. We wait until the DRS straight then. Of course, DRS not activated yet. Will be in a few laps time. But is anyone gonna have a gap? Gonna find a gap. Oh, Shawmul is round! Shawmul spins into the inside wall, out of turn 5, too early on the power, too eager to attack Sully, and drops down to 14th place, loses his entire front wing. Dropping off the podiums and a virtual safety car deployed immediately after the safety car. I can only assume for the fact that Shawmul's front wing is... Oh, and there's another crash, it seems, out of turn 7. There is a piece of front wing missing on someone's car, but I don't know who. Acid Master seems to be intact. Mihai... Is Mihai... Mihai's front wing looks good. Marcelio? Yes! Marcelio's front left end plate is missing, so he was definitely involved in that crash. So does he pit now to get that front wing change? Does he wait until he can go to the end on mediums? Difficult situation to be in. Virtual safety car still out on track, we're waiting for the race to be restarted. Hopefully no drive-through penalties. Everyone stays in the delta. Very long virtual safety car here, should be in by now, surely. If it stays out for long enough, it would definitely make sense for Marcello and anyone else who might have damage. Shaumul. Well, Shaumul has to pit anyway, he has no front wing. There's no way it's smart for him to stay out. But if anyone has small front wing damage like Marcello does... Someone is pitting up ahead, I think. I saw someone. Oh, JM! Got a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC! I just said, hopefully no drive-throughs, and JM gets one. And a yellow flag for JM as well, I believe, as he slows down out the front corner. Edwin in the pits, Marcello in the pits, double stack at Red Bull. Both Edwin and Marcello in the pits after the end of the VSC. Shaumul in as well to change that front wing he lost. Pinky, 1.2 seconds away from Sully. He's already created the gap again. He's the only one still out on those soft tires. Anybody else? Both Edwin and Acid Masters had to pit. Oh, well, Acid Masters decided to pit. I believe Edwin had damage, otherwise I don't see why he would have pitted right there. Certainly the softs have not dropped off enough for it to be time for a pit stop already. I did say they dropped off fast, but not that fast. Foltz is hounding Sully here. He is very close to the back of the Haas. 6 tenths gap right now. But once the DRS gets activated, of course, he will have the chance to close in, to overtake, to take second place and start chasing after Pinky for this race win. Pocho not quite able to stay in DRS when Foltz ahead. He instead is content with Management behind him. These two will be battling over P4 in the coming laps. But I think as long as DRS is deactivated, there don't be so many overtakes. As I stated, Acid Masters on the inside of Mihai. Mihai has to cut the corner. And is he going to give the place back? Mihai is in the pits actually. What? Misses the pit entry and speeds into the pit lane as well. Yellow flags in the final sector. For who? Oh, well, JM in the pits as well. Both JM. Well, JM serving his drive-through penalty. And Mihai... No wing change, just a tire change. Interesting that he pits this early then. Or did he forget to set change wing to yes? Either way, well, Sully is staying just about outside 1 second of Pinky. But Pinky does have a bit more ERS left in the tank. Both Foltz and Sully at around 50, Pinky at around 70, but using a bit to extend the gap to Sully. Wants to make sure he stays outside 1 second and doesn't have to think about Sully trying to make an overtake on him. This would be Pinky's first race win, but it's very early to say that. We're only on lap 6 of the Grand Prix. But so far, he has led every single lap. Of course, mostly the safety car being on the safety car, but he's looking good in the race so far. He's putting away, doing exactly what he needs to make that strategy work. But is this gap big enough? It's only 1.5 seconds at the moment. Sully and Foltz are well within viewing distance of him. Of course, maybe he can hope that Foltz and Sully battle over this second place. It's worth questioning whether Foltz and Sully might even be better off working together. It doesn't seem like Foltz is any faster than him as well. So maybe Foltz just sits in DRS range and waits until the end of the race. Lets Sully chase after Pinky. Tries to make sure to pass him on the same lap as Sully does. Doesn't lose too much time, stay with Sully. And just stay in the DRS train pretty much. Instead of battling and potentially losing time to Pinky. But it's a very long way to go. Plenty of things can still happen to make all of that talk I just did irrelevant. As Desi goes for the move on the nose. And gets past him as well. Up into 7th place. The reserve driver from McLaren tonight. Taking those 2 points. 2 points? Yeah, 6 points, 4 points, good. I had to make sure I got the points correct. Taking those 2 points off her nose, as Foltz is practically pushing Sully through the hairpin. Sully maybe made a bit of a mistake there, because Foltz is a lot closer than he was when I was on with these guys last time. But he hasn't gone for the move here. Still waiting for a better opportunity, it seems. He's burning a bit of overtake now, down into the chicanes in the other lap. Is Foles gonna go for it now? It seems like it. He's on the inside line, breaks late, and gets past Sully. Up into second place, goes a bit deep into the chicane. Sully trying the switchback, but Sully not into the final corner. They're side by side into the final corner. No, Sully backs out. Sully is playing it smart. Just slots in behind Foles, but maybe now to turn one. He can have a go again. He's side by side on the inside, but breaks early. Backs out the move. Doesn't want to risk an incident here. We're only 8 laps into this 31 lap race. And now he's dropped quite far behind. I think Foles is safe in second place for now. But can Foles get into the end of Pinky rather soon enough to be safe from behind from the attacks of Sully? Meanwhile, Porsche has stopped Management outside the ES range. Management now vulnerable to Kevin. Ferrari driver trying to get 5th place in this race. Of course, the Constructors' Championship. Worth mentioning, Ferrari currently leading it, 71 points ahead of Aston Martin with a 23-point gap. Mihai retiring in the pit lane on only lap 8 of the race. He's already decided he's had enough, doesn't want to continue. Oh, and Pinky's round! Pinky's round! Pinky's out! Oh my goodness me! From the lead of the race! He's led the entirety of this race so far, a full course safety car deployed. And coming onto the Anderson Bridge on those 7-lap-old softs, maybe just too much wear for him to handle. Not enough traction. He spins around, into the walls, into the barrier, and it's race over for Pinky. And heartbreak. Pole position, led all the way until now. Wasn't Foles and Sully weren't even in the DRS range. But he's just dropped it under traction on his own. And now, surely everyone is pitting for hards to go to the end. At least the ones that can have the option to do so. The ones that were currently on hards are now in a difficult situation. What did they do? Do you pit for mediums, try and make them last 21 laps? Do you pit for mediums and do a 2-stop? Sully! A 5-second penalty, speeding in the pits under safety car, so unnecessary. And that's gonna really hamper his chance to win this race. Kevin actually staying out on those 8-lap-old mediums. Desi staying out on the hards. Hano staying out on the mediums as well. Aston Martin in the pit lane. Foles onto mediums again. Interesting. Okay, so Foles will have to pit again. Sully, Pocho, Management going to the end. Interesting decision by Foles to decide that he's going to do a 2-stop. You would think you're going to play... I mean, if this is not a safety car, of course, this is good for him. Then we'll have... I mean, even then, the gap he can create will be gone. Weird choice, because now, I mean, even if he could make those mediums last, he isn't allowed to. He's used 2 sets of mediums, he has to pit again. So I guess Foles' strategy is a medium, soft. So now, the effective race leader on track, I mean, well, the race leader on track is Kevin, and the effective race leader, who will be winning the race, is Pocho, in 6th place right now. Because the top 3, they haven't pitted yet at all yet. Foles has to pit again, because he has to use 2 mediums instead of 2 different tire compounds. And Sully, in 5th, has a 5-second time penalty. But of course, we still have a whole 22 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Such a stupidly long race, the Singapore Grand Prix. So maybe Foles can even make that 2-stop work if there's no more safety cars. He can create a massive gap, pit for softs, and then probably come out behind Sully and Pocho, but how far? I mean, and I've counted on Management here as well in 7th place. He's certainly still in the fight as well here. Effectively running in 3rd place, well 2nd place even if you include Sully's penalty. Aston Martin's on the softs in 8th place, want to look out for the restart. But will also have to pit again at some point. Those softs will certainly not be going to the end of this race. Edwin on slightly used hards in 9th place. JM on fresh hards in 10th as well now. Back into the race. And the same goes for Sean Moore as well. Both Sean Moore and JM and Edwin, so many drivers who made mistakes in the opening laps. Wait, did Edwin have a crash? Why is it down to P9? I don't know. But yeah, they are all back into the fight, in this race. Of course now at the back. But still, in train, they can make overtakes, fight their way back towards the upper points paying positions. And I think the main sources of action on this restart will be Foles and everyone else behind trying to overtake Nose, Desi and Kevin on those old tires. Acid Masters on the softs trying to make up places, and as well Edwin. Slightly older tires might be under pressure from JM, Shawmul, and Marcello behind once the safety car comes in. So quite a few different strategies at play here, which will be quite interesting to see on the restart. See if they can get those overtakes done, get their positions defended, whatever. But I am definitely quite surprised that, I mean, for Desi and Hartz, it somewhat makes sense, but Kevin and Nose on the mediums, I don't see why you wouldn't pit. I mean, yes, you get track position, but on this game, the track position isn't that valuable. You get overtaken quite easily. I mean, even though it's Singapore, I would still say it's well worth pitting, especially if you can go to the end. So we'll see how this works out for them. I think one more lap in the safety car, as Shawmul and Marcello have not caught up yet. So probably restart at the end of lap 11. Which is good news if you're going to the end of the race. The less laps to go, the less tire wear you'll be getting. Although Marcello and Shawmul are now catching up, so maybe we'll have a very late call here. It has happened before, but I think the safety car's already past the pit entry. So one more lap yet in the safety car, at least, but then hopefully we're back underway, and hopefully that will be the final safety car of the race, because it's quite difficult to commentate on nothing. I guess we can have a look at the race director, might as well. Oh, okay, there's quite a few. Alright, we'll do it like this. Kevin, no warnings. Desi, 1 warning. Honoris, 1 warning, but on lap 1 that could be contact? Yes. Foltz, no warnings. Sully, 1 warning. Pocho, no warnings. Menaceman, 2 warnings, but lap 1 could well be contact. No, that's exceeded track limits. Acid Masters, 1 warning, but also lap 1. Yep, collision. Edwin, no warnings. JM, 1 warning, but lap 1, we'll check it. No, that's speeding under VC, that's the... Yeah, exceeded track limits, okay, 1 warning then. Shawmul, 1 warning. Marcello, 1 warning, okay. So nobody has more than 1 warning in this race so far. Looking good in terms of time penalties. Granted, most laps I think have been under safety car, so where would you be getting warnings from? But yeah, we are just over 1/3 into this race. And still plenty of action to go here. Beautiful helicopter shot here as they go over the Anderson Bridge. Honestly, I could watch the entire race from this POV. But there we go. It's gone. Goodbye. Hopefully we'll see you later on in the race again. Safety car in this lap. And Kevin now becomes the effective safety car, can decide when to restart the race, has to build a gap to Bernd Maylander ahead. Let's that green Aston Martin go. Warms up the tires. 10 lap old mediums. How much longer is this stint for him and Nose, and for Desi as well in the Hearts? How many places can they hang on to? How much of a roadblock will they be for everyone behind on their fresh tires? When does Kevin decide to go? He's gone quite early here, coming out of the chicane, and he's completely gapped Desi by over a second as he goes over the line, starting lap 12 and restarting the race, and Desi immediately passed by Nose. And Foles as well. And Sully as well there on the outside of turn 1. Desi goes over the curbs. Has a terrible exit. Pocho sees his opportunity as well, but he can't quite send it in there. Menaceman tries him round the outside, but no chance. Nose is round. Nose dropping down into last place here with a spin coming out of turn 2. Out of turn 3, sorry. Pocho now on the back of Desi. And pulls out to the right hand side. Onto the inside line for turn 6, would be outside for turn 7. Can he get ahead? Yes, he's ahead. Menaceman trying to follow through as well, round the outside of the McLaren. And he does get ahead. Up into 5th place, Nessie already in quite a place. Kevin is also still in the lead of the race. Asset Master sends another break, makes use of those fresh softs and gets past. Now Sean Moole under traction, tries to move around the outside. Can he pull this one off? Yes, a beautiful move by Sean Moole, up into 7th place. And a great restart from him, I think. He used to restart in like close to the 2 last places, he's only up to 7th. Foltz already caught Kevin. Fresh mediums against 11 hairball mediums, major advantage for Foltz. Kevin with a terrible exit, and Foltz with a switchback. And up into the lead of the race. And already he's well ahead of Sully and Pocho. They are nowhere near him, they've got a car in between him as well. So Foltz doing what he needs to do, creating a gap so he can pit again without losing the chance of the race win. As Sean Moole is outside myself, Asset Masters trying to get back on the 6th place. Marcelio, I believe, in the wall at turn 14. Sean Moore on the inside of Asset Masters and takes 6th place. Asset Masters tries switch, but does not have traction. Sean Moore up into 6th place. And no counter from Asset Masters. Edwin into the pits. Once again fronting damage for the Red Bull driver. Not a great debut for him at all. He would have been hoping for much better. As Sully is now coming up behind Kevin. Is Kevin gonna fight for this position? Can Sully get past him? He needs to get past him as early as possible. He needs a 5-second gap to Pocho behind. And he needs to stay close to Foltz if he wants to win this race. Kevin already out of DRS and Sully sees it. He's smelling an opportunity here for sure. DRS will be activated next lap, so the absolute latest I think that will be when Sully can pass him. But can he find an opportunity earlier? Lose less time to Foltz. Foltz already 2 seconds ahead. And it's only been just over a lap. 1.5 laps I would say about since the restart. Can tell Sully's having to slow down quite a bit to avoid running back of Kevin. Those old medians so much slower than the fresh tires that Sully's on. And now with a great exit out of here, maybe he can get Kevin. He's burning overtake to the left hand side, the outside into turn 14. He's going to be able to get the Ferrari. Kevin has to brake early on the old tires. And Sully moves ahead, but the gap's already 3 seconds to Foltz. Foltz is absolutely flying away at the front, making great use of those fresh mediums. And now Kevin under pressure from Pocho behind as well. Can he follow through quickly? Stay with Sully. Make sure he stays within the 5-second range of that Haas. So he can take the position either in the pit lane or at the end of the race when that penalty gets applied. DRS now enabled, but Kevin will have DRS from Sully, so Pocho will not have an easy pass here unless Sully gains a significant amount of time before the DRS detection point, which I don't think will be happening. Actually, I think it will be. Kevin's out of DRS range, and that could be Pocho's chance. He already goes for the move here into here. Doesn't even wait for the DRS range, sends it up the inside. And he's gotten past Kevin. And Kevin has absolutely no ERS to try and fight back, no DRS either. Menaceman might even have a chance here to pass the Ferrari already, but he doesn't quite have the run on him. Has to wait a bit longer. Sean Moole is sitting right behind, just waiting for the opportunity to make up even more places. What a restart it's been for Sean Moole. Desi in the pit lane, getting rid of those old hard tires. Now Sean Moole right behind Menaceman, but no chance in the Singapore Sling. Meanwhile, Kevin dropping back over a second from Pocho already. Himself dropped back over a second from Sully, who himself has dropped back 4 seconds from Foltz. I think Foltz getting about a second a lap on everyone behind. Those mediums being put to really good use in this Grand Prix. Now Menaceman trying it on the inside of Kevin, and is able to, of course, carry so much more speed into the corner. Sean Moole following through as well, alongside the Ferrari. Kevin getting a bit of slipstream from Menaceman up ahead, but Sean Moole with those much better tires and a much later braking point easily dispatches the Ferrari. And now Kevin already has the next car all over him in the Alpine of JM. And actually Kevin goes into the pit lane. He's decided he's had enough of trying to hold on to these places. He pits, probably for hard compound tires. And Sean Moore gets past Menaceman up into 4th place. Continues his fight back from the field. Now 2 seconds behind Pocho on the mediums compared to hard. And there we go, Kevin indeed onto hard compound tires and it come out in 9th place. And plenty of time to be made up for him. And I think that's now confirmed. The correct strategy would have been to pit on the safety car. Menaceman gets back past Sean Moore. Up into 4th place. JM trying to... has a little look as well. So Alpine... battling with Sean Moore here. It was a 2 versus 1 situation, you could say. Sean Moore's teammate, yeah, not racing tonight. So he's all on his own in this fight against him. But he is following closely right behind Mannesman, trying to find a way around him into the hairpin even. Mannesman with a bit of a slide coming out of that hairpin. But actually JM is having more of a look at Sean Moore, and Sean Moore is at Mannesman. With a little switchback coming out of turn 14, but he's just not quite close enough to the back of the Williams. But they are following us so closely here through these streets of Singapore. Aston Martin's hanging right behind as well. He's just waiting for some sort of incident. Any sort of minor mistake, and he will be right there to pick up the pieces, make up the places. The fight for 4th place. Mannesman, Sean Moore, JM Asset Masters in one DRS lane. And right now, certainly the best action on track happening. Sean Moore all over Mannesman, JM all over Sean Moore, and Asset Masters 5 tenths behind. And Mannesman now picks up a 3-second time penalty! Running in 4th place. And that time penalty is really gonna cost him. As JM tries to get past Sean Moore but runs out of momentum, can't quite get around the Williams, still stuck in 6th place here. 15 laps to go in this Grand Prix, we are over the halfway point now. So Mannesman's time penalty now would drop him down to P7. He's gonna have to try and build as much of a gap in these guys as possible, but it doesn't look like he can pull away at all. I would be interested to know what tire Sean Moore... Okay, so Sean Moore could go to the end in theory, but that would be quite a long way to go on mediums. We'll see if it works out for him. It's probably possible, but he will definitely lose quite a bit of pace towards the end of the race. Meanwhile, look up at the front already, 6 seconds. Folt is flying right now. So that 2-stop could really work out for him. Of course, he will then even have soft at the end. Sully's 5-second penalty, so he doesn't even need to pass him. It's looking very good for Folt. The problem for him though is, if there is a safety car before softs are viable, what is he gonna do? Because he needs to use both his mediums. He would only have hards or softs as an option. So if there's a safety car, like, say right now, it's too early for softs, they can't last to the end. He has to go for hards, and he will be very vulnerable to the cars behind, who would have a much better tire than the mediums, which are clearly far superior. As we can see, Folt is absolutely flying on them right now. And the same goes for Sean Moore, as he gets past Mannesman, up into 4th place on the inside line, and gets the move done. And JM following through as well, getting past his teammate. Got squeezed out slightly on the exit of turn 7. Lost momentum and dropped down 2 places. And now JM, he's been having a few goes at Sean Moore. And now that Sean Moore doesn't have any more DRS, that could be his chance to finally actually get past the Williams, move up into 4th place, and maybe it's now time to go after Potro and Sully up ahead for the podium. They're only 3.5 seconds behind Potro, so it's not a massive gap. Maybe if they weren't battling, they could be gaining time on the cars ahead. Of course, they will also be helping us slightly with the DRS, gaining some time on the straights. But how much time are they losing with fighting? It's difficult to say. JM rounding the final corner, all the way over the curb. They're much more aggressive with the track limits than Sean Moore was being. So seems to be a bit more confident in this car, or just pushing a bit more, trying to get that place. Are those mediums already showing signs of wear? I don't think they are. For Folt at least, he's still gaining on Sully. But Sean Moore doesn't seem as confident as Folt seems to be. JM is pretty close to him. Is JM close enough to actually take the position though? Into turn 7. No, he's not. But they have dropped Mannesman and Asset Masters out of the DRS range. They are on their own now. These two, Sean Moore and JM, running away. So Mannesman doesn't quite seem to have the pace. And Asset Master on the 9 level soft probably just has a good bit of tire wear by now. His fuel, looking pretty good actually. He started with -3 laps, I believe, and he's now at almost 0. So he's done really well to yeah, recover fuel under safety car and under green flags as well, I assume. 13 laps to go in this Singapore Grand Prix. Can have a quick look comparing lap times of Folt and Sully. Folt's last 2 laps were 34.8, 34.1, 33.7. So Folt's 34, 35.1, 34.5, 33.9. So they're both losing time, getting wear on their tires. But Folt, I believe, will be losing more time over the course of the next few laps. Sully will have the advantage swing in his favor. And Mannesmann and Aston Masters both into the pits now. Mannesmann retires from the race. Running in 6th place, Mannesmann decides he doesn't want to finish the race. What happened to him? Aston Masters, of course, with those old softs, makes sense for him to pit. Doesn't retire either. Onto mediums to go to the end. And he's going to come out in 10th place, I believe, behind Edwin and Aston Masters. Edwin and Desi, sorry. And has 5 lap fresher tires, 6 laps over Edwin. And only 4 seconds behind. Can he catch back up? Can he make up those places again? We go back into the fight again between JM and Sean Moole. Penalty from Celio, 3 seconds. Currently running in 6th place. So that could now be a problem for him in regards to hanging on to that place. Kevin, Edwin, Desi, Aston Masters, Hanos, all chasing after him. JM all over the back of that Williams, but still doesn't quite, he hasn't even tried to go for the move, it seems like. He's been recharging ES. Seems to be happy to just stay behind Tromwell. They are gaining on Potro ever so slightly. But for how much longer? Foles, to meanwhile, seem to pick up the pace again. The gap with Sully widening a bit. We're now at 7.8. So maybe those mediums just have to take a few laps to cool down, I don't know. Maybe he was recharging ES for a bit, who knows. The question is, how long is he gonna wait to go to soft? Aston Master did 9 laps before he pitted, but you could definitely see them dropping off at the end. So what is the ideal pit window for Foles? At this point, he could probably make them last until the end if he wanted to, if he pits now. But it would be quite a long way, so it would make sense to stay out a bit longer. But how long? I mean, he needs to have some time to actually make up the time he's lost in the pit lane again. He will definitely come out behind Sully, Pocho, Sean Moole, JM. Yeah, he will probably come out between JM and Marcelio somewhere. But how close to JM will he be? And how quickly can he get past? Especially JM, I think, will be the big issue for him. As he will have DRS from Sean Moole. And even more so if Sean Moole catches up to Pocho. If they have a 3-car DRS train, that could be a big issue for Foles to get past all of them quickly. I mean, he will do it eventually, I'm sure, but he will lose a lot of time, and that could make it difficult for him to chase after Sully. I mean, what is the gap to leader? 15. He's definitely coming out behind, and it's a pretty long pit lane as well. I think he loses like 25 seconds in Singapore in the pit lane. As Kevin gets past Marcelio for 6th place, I've completely missed him catching up to him, and Kevin flies right past the Red Bull. He's 20 seconds behind this fight though, so I think P5 is the highest he will be able to go in this race. Unless there's any more safety cars. But of course we don't want to wish for that. We want to see green flag racing to the end of the race. Only 10 laps to go. At the moment, Foles in the lead, but it would be Pocho winning. Foles has to pit, Sully has a 5-second penalty. Desi getting past Edwin there. Edwin is in the pit lane once again. Don't tell me he's picked up damage again. He hasn't. Just a pit stop onto fresh softs. 10 laps to go in the Grand Prix. Those will make it to the end, but they will be quite warm by the end. He's going to come out in last place behind Hanos, who is now back into the points. Pocho gaining a bit of time on Sully. We're at about 4 seconds now. He's picking up the pace a bit. Also trying to keep Sean Moole far enough away as a back on this beautiful helicopter shot. Now that Edwin is pinned for softs, is Foles gonna do the same soon? And knows now the 3-second time penalty, so that will make it difficult to hang on to P10 in the fight against Edwin. Does Foles stay out, or does he pit? When does he pit? I mean, the mediums still seem to have pace, but the softs will certainly be faster. What is the ideal pit stop window for Foles? I have no idea. I have never done a 2-stop on F123 on any track, let alone Singapore. So I couldn't tell you what the play is for Foles in this Grand Prix. As Asset Masters now gets past Desi and into the barrier actually! Outbrakes himself! Has he picked up damage from that? I think yes he has! Asset Masters! Throwing away quite a few points that this will now mean probably a pit stop coming out behind Hanaud and Edwin. Or does he just tough it out? And Desi's coming in. They're both coming in. Asset Masters completely overshoots the pit entry. Cuts back into it. Edwin picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Marcello in the pits as well, getting fresh softs. So none of them going to the end, it seems. Interesting. I think they all had the option to, but they decided to go for softs instead. Of course, my Asset Masters, the wing damage will drop behind Desi once again. Lost behind anyway, so Knowles into 7th place now on Old Hard Snow. Marcello out in 8th. Where's Edwin? Edwin does get past all of them. Marcello out in 9th. Desi out in 10th. Asset Masters out in 11th on fresh mediums. The rest of the guys on softs. So we are seeing quite a few softs pit stops now. As Asset Master gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit white line. And he's first done it multiple times because he only get a warning first time. I think he get a warning second time. And then the penalty on the third time. There we go, falls into the pit lane. What I've been teasing for quite a few laps now has finally happened. Foles pits onto soft compound tires. And he's gonna come out behind Sean Moore and in front of Kevin. So, can he catch back up? Can he catch up to these guys? Can he get back onto the podium? Can he get back into the lead of the race? Right now, slowly leading on track, Pocho winning on penalties. Not too many laps to go in this race. Yellow flags in sector 2 as we've got Hanaud spinning around after the hairpin. But he's not DNF, so it shouldn't be a safety car. He's gotten going again, took him a while though, and he stopped down to last place. I think Foles would have been so angry if there was a safety car literally seconds after he pitted. So he's losing pace compared to Pocho. Pocho's getting closer and closer. JM has gotten past Sean Moore in the meanwhile, which I completely missed. Don't know when that happened. I'm very sorry about that. I watched this fight for like 10 laps straight, and the moment I take my eyes off it, JM makes a pass. Oh, and JM with a bit of a slide. And Sean Moore immediately invited into the overtaking range again, but doesn't actually. He has a terrible exit. Foles is now 7 seconds behind. I want to open the gap to the leader. 13. So he needs to gain about 2 seconds a lap for the rest of this race. Yellow flags in sector 1. Why? Huh. Well. I think in terms of pure gap, Foles would be fine. But he does have quite a few cars to get past as well. That 5-second penalty of Sully could be so costly here. I think it might be the thing that can decide this race now. Either against Pocho or against Foles. At this point I think we can say about Foles there's no on-track battles happening. We'll simply watch him chase after the guys ahead. He's burning a bit of overtake. So interesting, he's wanting to use that for lap time rather than to make the overtake. He's gonna trust in the pure tire advantage and DRS for that it seems. It's very crucial for him that Sean Moore is not in DRS into JM. That could be that will make it much easier to get past the Williams and then get past JM as well. Although JM is not far behind Pocho, and we could be yeah, I think it might be honestly a good option for Pocho to just slow down a bit, give JM DRS. The same play that Sainz did in the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix in real-life Formula 1. Where he gave Norris DRS for Norris to defend against the Mercedes cars behind and secured the race win that way. But of course, there's a bit more nuance this time. He also has to keep the gap to Sully below 5 seconds. And I'm very certain that JM, if he was in DRS range of Poggio, would not just sit behind. He would go for that win if he sees the chance for it. And Foles, he's effectively made that gap disappear. He's already at 1.6 seconds behind Sean Moore. He is so much faster on those fresh softs, and I think we're about to see a new fast lap of the Grand Prix. So far it's a 32.0 from Edwin, and now it's a 31.1 from Foles. That is faster than some drivers' qualifying lap time as well, I believe. Very impressive from Foles. And now he's in DRS range of Sean Moore. Can he get past him at the first time? I'm asking, does he have to wait for a later chance? Does Sean Moore bother defending? I mean, I don't think he will, in all honesty. Yeah, no chance. Look at the exit speed of Foles, and he flies right past the Williams. That is the first car done. 3 more to go. Oh, well, 2 more to go, in fact, only. JM and Poggio. He has got Sully on penalty already, I think. Yeah, almost. By now, I think we can be certain that Sully's not winning this Grand Prix. It's between Poggio and Foles. And it's looking very good for Foles. He is so much faster on those fresh softs. And we still have quite a few laps to go. He's now coming up behind JM, the Alpine driver, under pressure from the Aston Martin. Foles with a wide entry and a brilliant exit and flies right past the Alpine. Is JM going to try and stick his nose up the inside? He isn't. Foles moves up into 3rd place and can now start chasing after Poggio. He will be in DRS range for the time start next lap. And Poggio, you can always see the red light flashing. Poggio does not have the ERS to defend. And I think that will be it. Foles with a strategy that I was quite confused by. It's worked out brilliantly. It has worked out to perfection. He has shut me right up. He's already trying to switch back here. And might even go for the move before the DRS don't even... They make a bit of contact. But Foles and Poggio both stay pointing in the right direction. And that's it. I will say that's the race when decided. Foles got past Poggio. And I don't think Poggio has any chance of staying with him. 14 lap fresher tires and softs against hards. It was bound to happen as soon as Foles caught up. That he would simply fly right past Poggio. And now he can even get solely on track. And it won't be very long until he does so. He is so much faster on these softs. Unless they drop off like crazy at the end, this is all over. A great drive by Foles. And now it's just Sully, Poggio and JM fighting over the last podium position. Or positions. It's multiple, of course, P2 and 3. Foles is quite low on ERS here, but it won't matter. He has gained 2 seconds on Poggio already in only, well, not even the full lap. And he's now behind, well, all over Sully. Will probably get past into turn 1, if not that, in the second DRS straight. And there we go, he's pulling alongside to the inside, and that will be it. Foles into the lead of the race, on track. And unless Sully can pull off some kind of masterclass here to come back at him, which he cannot, you can see he's so far behind already. The tire advantage simply way too big for Sully to fight back. And that is Foles out of the DRS range, into the distance. As Sean Moore pits for fresh softs actually. There wasn't all too many laps to go. He would have definitely held on to P5 I think, unless he was in danger of a puncture. He's coming out in 6th place. How far behind Kevin is he, as he gets a 5-second penalty for crossing the white line and exit as well. It's worth mentioning, it's a 5-second penalty each time you do it in our regulations. So if it's reported, it will be a 5-second penalty. The game doesn't enforce it properly. The game gives a warning first time and the penalty second time? Or is it a warning first and second time and the penalty third time? Let me check. Stops? 3 stops for Sean Moore, so it might be... I think it's the same as a normal time penalty, where it's 3 warnings before you get the penalty. Yeah. You definitely should just stay inside the white line. It isn't that difficult, but I've seen a lot of drivers do it this race. I have tried not to comment on it, but Yeah, if someone reports it's a straight 5-second penalty, no negotiation, no wiggle room about it. And Foles already 3 seconds away at the front. Those soft compound tires simply too much of an advantage. And it's looking likely that it will be Poggio in second and JM in third. With Sully's 5-second penalty rendering any chance of hanging on to that second place, yeah, very unlikely. You'd have to pull the gap once again, which he... I mean, he had a gap. He had Poggio at like 4.5 seconds, but then Poggio closed in again. Not sure what happened to Sully's pace, but it seems to drop off more than the guys around him, despite the fact that they have the same tire life. And I don't see damage on the Haas either, so it can't be that. Unless it's a very small amount of damage that's not even visible. But yeah, apart from that, we can keep an eye on the fight for 8th. We've got Desi, Marcello and Asset Masters all pretty close together, although the penalty. Well, the order is pretty much decided unless Marcello and Asset Masters pull away. It will be Desi in 8th, as he already takes it on track as well. Up the inside into turn 5. We've seen this a few times this race, and they make the move before the DRS straight. I mean, as long as it works, but it doesn't seem to have worked this time. Marcello defending the place, and Asset Masters getting past both of them actually. Asset Masters up into P8, but he goes deep. Goes off the track, and gets switched back by both. And now Asset Masters on tier. Oh, Marcello's out of the race! Marcello's crashed. Desi's round. Asset Masters pulls away from both of them. No safety car though. But what just happened there? Right in the end of the race, a crash between Asset Masters, Desi, Marcello. Marcello out, Desi round, Asset Masters slows down to let Desi back past, so he feels guilty about it, I guess. Thinks that he's at fault. This does not mean that Hanoas will pick up the final points paying position. Sean Moore claims fast lap the race. So we will get that bonus point instead of Foltz, and he's now also right behind Kevin. Can he get past the Ferrari and also build a 5-second gap to him in these remaining 2.5 laps? There we go, he's past Kevin. Kevin, of course, not really much of a chance of defending. Massive tire advantage for Sean Moore. Desi gets passed by Asset Master again. Asset Master into the pit lane. So he's going to come out in 9th place. I believe Hanoas actually is lapped, is he? No, not quite. Wait, what? How is he here and Phil is here, but he's not lapped? That is weird. He must be lapped. If he is here and Foles is here, yeah, he must be lapped by the top 4, but I don't know. Weird Codemasters things, I guess, that he's not listed as lapped despite clearly being lapped. I saw a wing flying there. Was that Asset Masters? Yeah, he's ghosting. So it must be Asset Masters. Oh no, he's being lapped. Yeah, Asset Masters being lapped by JM here, it seems. Who is trying to chase after Poggio for 3rd place still. With 2 laps to go. Poggio himself almost in the edge of Sully. And that could be crucial if Poggio wants to defend against JM. Foltz once again, I mean, he pitted with an 8-second gap and he's already got an 8-second gap away, so yeah, Foltz has played to perfection with that 2-stop strategy. Not something you see every day on F123, a 2-stop that works. And Singapore definitely not a track I would have expected it to be a viable strategy on. But it has worked perfectly. He will win by probably over 10 seconds in this race. The gap to Poggio. It's currently at about 9.7, but of course 1 more lap to go to extend it further. Foles now starting that final lap of the race. An absolutely amazing drive from him. Pocho is in DRS range to Sully, but I don't think he'll go for it. He doesn't have any reason to try and overtake on track. He will get the position on penalties, either way. And trying to overtake will only risk him losing a place to JM. Or even, worst case scenario, a DNF. We'll keep the cameras focused on this for now anyway. Not like there's anything else going on. It's pretty quiet entering this race after Foulds got past everybody in the leading train. And it was pretty inevitable that as well, that he would get past them. It looked to be a good exciting race at the start, but then at the end, I must say, kind of died down a bit. And that has been mainly because Foulds had an absolutely amazing race. Done a great job to take advantage of that crash that Pinky had, unfortunately, to cause the safety car on lap 8. Foulds pitting onto mediums, going to the two-stop strategy, which I was very baffled by. And in the end, it could not have worked any better for him. He's going to win this race with a 10+ second gap to second place. An amazing drive from Foulds tonight, and a very well-deserved race win here in Singapore. And back into the championship lead as well. It is your race winner, Foulds, coming on the final corner of Singapore. It will be solely on track in second place, but he will drop behind both Pocho and JM. So it will be Pocho claiming P2 tonight in Singapore, JM claiming third, and Sully with a 5-second penalty drops from second to fourth. Sean in the end with a 10-second gap to Kevin, so the tyre advantage truly is just absolutely crazy. He only passed him 2 laps ago. And there we go, into 5th place. Does get a 5-second penalty applied, so it will be about a 5-second gap to Kevin, who will come home in P6. Asset Masters knows already finished in 9th and 10th as well. Just Edwin and Desi left in this race. They'll be finishing 7th and 8th. Edwin actually with front-wing damage on the front right end plate there. A pretty massive gap to Foulds there. It's quite a long wait until he actually comes to the line. But yeah, there we go. He's coming up from the final corner now. Not a debut would have hoped for, but still a few points scored at least. Edwin coming home in 7th place and into the barrier as well over the line. Just for good measure, joining... who's that? Is that Pocho? No. What car was that? Oh, nose. Okay. Thought it was a Mercedes at first. Desi over the line as well now, into P8. And that's been that. The Singapore Grand Prix. My audio is completely gone. I hope the stream is still has audio, but I don't know. Aston Martin gets Driver of the Day award. I disagree. I'd give it to Foulds. Truly a dominant performance tonight. I have audio again. And here we have your podium. Foulds with the United Kingdom flag, which has now disappeared. Pocho in 2nd place and JM in 3rd. Great drives from all three, but mainly Foulds. Truly impressive stuff. I honestly thought that he would not pull off a 2-stop. I didn't think it was possible, even, but the advantage of the medium competitor had seemingly much larger than I thought it would be. And in the end, a 11.9 second gap to Pocho. And yeah, well-deserved race win. And yeah, unfortunately DNFs from Arsenio right at the end, Menaceman, Pinky, Mihai, Owise. They would have been hoping for more today, but yeah, plenty more races to go in this season. Only 4 rounds into season 12 of F1 Total. We'll see you well next week for the next Grand Prix in Division 2 to be the Brazilian Grand Prix. Same time as always, 7:30 PM UK time. Live streamed here on the YouTube channel, hopefully. Saturday as well, Division 1 in Brazil at 6:30 PM UK. Hope you'll be tuning into that. Esports Division will be on a bit of a break once again with a double header for Formula 1. But after that, that will be back as well for the final 2 rounds in the season. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race, and hope to see you again next week and on Saturday for the Brazilian Grand Prix in Division 1 and 2. Have a good evening. Goodbye.